Hey guys, I got some other videos in the works, but I wanted to put this out real quick because yesterday we had talked about the GOP Senate and how GOP senators were blocking the subpoenaing of James Comey et al. And Gateway Pundit had shown us the list of Republican names, but we wanted to go further, and so we saw who were the minority members, and of course there was none other than Kamala Harris. And so the head Republican on the committee was having trouble because if even one Republican said no to subpoenaing somebody, then it was a no. I don't think it's going too far out on a limb to say that Mitt Romney is most likely the most often one that says no, although Rick Scott is pretty much on the table as well. But my greater point was that Mitt Romney is a Republican and Kamala Harris is a Democrat, but they're in the same party. And this is an overarching thing. I don't feel like other people are quite seeing it the way that I do. And it started particularly with the tip report. You guys know how I've gone on and on about this report, but the thing that struck me most about it was that they claimed it was bipartisan. And while one could say it was bipartisan under the old system, under the new system, it's not bipartisan by anyone's measure except for the media. You look at the list of who participated, and it is Democrats and never Trumpers. And it's time for us to start putting those people into the same category because they are a party unto themselves. They who are a slave to the blackmail that is used to control them. They are the old guard, though. And you can see them trying to cling desperately to power. And guys, this concept of a new party, a need for a new party is important to me. Even if you look at one of Q's recent posts, he posted a repost of somebody who had noticed that the DNC logo had a pentagram in it. And Q made a post, and it was one party discusses God, one party discusses darkness, one party promotes God, one party eliminates God. It's mostly a hit job on the Democrat Party, and I'm okay with that. Because he's a MAGA patriot, so I don't expect anything different from him. You have to know, your source. Number two, he's not wrong, but it's important to acknowledge that the Republican Party has also been subverted by these same people. Is it as out there? No. Is it as far along? No. But if we ignore it, will it show back up? Yes. And just as a way to just kind of prove this to you, let me show you. There are people who are using Q now to just now discover an upside down pentagram in the Democrat Party's logo, but they don't even know that the Republican Party's logo, the party they most likely identify with, made its stars pentagrams sometime around 2000. Now there's a whole thing about this, about how Cheney and Bush had it changed and blah, 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 like there always is. Most of it's over the top. I did reverse image searches, and I could find them right side up and upside down as stars or as pentagrams, all kinds of different time periods. I think the furthest back I could find the pentagram version of the logo was on an old Nixon pin in 72. For the most part, there are times where the Republican Party inverts the stars on its logo, and there are times when it doesn't. Does it mean anything? I don't know. Probably not. Could it? Yes. Maybe they invert the stars whenever the satanic cabal is in charge of that party. And so if the stars are upright, the good guys are in charge. And if the stars are upside down in the pentagram form, it's the satanic cabal in charge. Is that it? I don't know. Maybe. But to think that the Democrat Party is the one that's subverted, it's not the right way to go down this road, because it's not just the Democrat Party. It's members of both parties, and it's most of them, the vast majority of them. We cannot reform the old system. A new system is going to come. It's best to know that instead of trying to cling to the old system like you see these people from both parties that I'm talking about doing. It's not the strong that survive. It's the adaptable, right? understand, I'm not just talking about the Trump phenomenon, but on the other side of the political spectrum, they don't want anything to do with the Democrat Party either. The warmongering, blackmailable party that we see now because of Trump. We see it now because of him. And it used to work for Americans. They used to go and say, oh, you have this choice and that choice. And then they would go and shake hands and play poker, behind the scenes. They can't do that anymore because both sides have been ordered to take down Trump no matter what. And no matter what they do, that exposes the reality of these people. And it's not everybody in both parties. You can see that there are people in each party that are not scared of Trump. They don't have TDS, but it's the ones that are going truly crazy. You can tell that's the BlackMail club. But anyways, I say all that just to say this. I saw the connection between Romney and the Democrat vice president nominee. And the next day, I see that old Ann Romney, Mitt's good wife, will be working with Michelle Obama to get out the vote come this fall. And who would they be working with, might you say? Well, I don't know. How about Larry Hogan, Schwarzenegger, Cindy McCain? Yeah, that's right, Cindy McCain, everybody's favorite, never Trumper. It's funny because there's a current anonymous sourced story about Trump putting down the military that's run the circuit again. I remember the first time it came around, it involved old Cindy's husband. Man, he hated Trump. Especially how Trump would talk about ISIS. And all the people who were supporting Trump were circulating those pictures of John McCain and Lindsey Graham meeting with ISIS commanders in Iraq, seeing how they were working with Al-Qaeda. It really made him mad when Trump said what he said. And Trump's support from the military never waned, no matter how much they tried to use John McCain. And it's not going to wane based off of this story that they're putting out now, based off of anonymous sources. The vast majority of thinking people in this country do not trust two things now, for sure. And that is anonymous sources in the media and any kind of computer-based predictive modeling. Nobody trusts in either one of those things at all. Or maybe he was mad because McCain's hands were dirty with the Steele dossier. I don't know. Regardless, it's time to start thinking of them as a new party. Even when Trump is gone, we're going to need a counter to the Bush, Obama, Biden, Romney, McCain cabal. And we need to start seeing them for who they are. Podesta is doing the wargaming on the Transition Integrity Project. Hillary Clinton is saying that Biden should not concede no matter what. And Cindy McCain and Mitt Romney's wife are going to work with Michelle Obama to get out the vote. I don't know what to tell you, but we're going to need something new to replace this. And even the people, if you don't like Trump, then you need to still be thinking about something new to replace this. Reforming the old guard is not an option. When there is no left and right, when they're both working together and putting out coordinated hit pieces and political attacks and wrap-up smears on the same person. You can't hide what team you're on when that happens. Anyways, guys, like, share, sub. Talk to y'all later.